Hey everybody, Patrick here. Today I'm going to review another game of Azalea against Aurora, and this is against one of my teammates, Jordan. He's a really strong Runeblade player. He's been playing all of the Runeblades, traditionally the most powerful one when it's out. So he's played Chain, he's played Briar, he's played Viscerai, he's played Vinset, and now he's playing Aurora. So yeah, really good player, and this is going to be a good match. So I think that this is a really important matchup for people to learn, for Azaleas to learn. And that's because it's not as cut and dry as some of the other Runeblades are, because Aurora has the ability to evade our disruption. So traditionally, we've had a really good chance with our Red in the Ledger to shut down a Runeblade and what they're trying to do. But now that Aurora has access to instants and set up instants like Channel Lightning Valley, she can just kind of get around that and have a really good setup turn, even once we've hit her with the Red in the Ledger, or once we've hit her with like a Seek and Destroy, or at least with Inertia. So yeah, it's a tough matchup, surprisingly. Okay, so first off, in the equipment, you notice that I'm bringing a Crow's Nest. That's because I'm trying out some of the aim counter cards, hence the name of the list, as well as some of my card choices. So this is the way that I generate aim counters. Death Dealer, great bow, only bow I run here. Piano Spring Tunic, Blade Break 1, and then hopefully every 3 turns, it just smooths out my pitch. Long draw, that's because I'm expecting Warmongers. Aurora is able to run Warmongers and then just rely more heavily on her instants as her like smoothing cards. So yeah, it doesn't rely as heavily on non-attack actions on the Aurora side, and it's just a house against us when they get the Warmongers in. Also, Skullbone Cross Wrap. This is my only AB in the configuration right now. I have Bullseye on the side, but this is just going to be hopefully a way that I can prevent some tricky arcane when it needs to be. Then finally, uh, Snapdragon Scalers. This is just a great card at matching aggression with aggression. Okay, down to the deck list. I'm bringing in 9 cards. Sorry, I kind of stumbled over my words, but I'm bringing in 9 cards here. So first up, we have Immobilizing Shot, and this is just like a baby Red in the Ledger. The intent here is that I can flip it off the top, get the aim counter, and then it's just like another Red in the Ledger. So it's so far proven to be good, and I think I'm going to continue with it for now. Judge Jury, this is just in the main, but the fact that I'm trying to control the top of my library a little bit more and generate aim counters, I think it's just a nice inclusion. And so far it's played well. So I'm going to keep testing it. Red in the Ledger, this is in from the side, 3 copies. That's just because Aurora still needs to present multiple, or she still wants to present multiple attacks in a turn, and this stops that. Shout out to Ridgebider Shot and Scout the Periphery. These just give me ways to see what's on top of my library and control it a little bit, so that I can hopefully hit an immobilizing shot, a judge jury, or help find a Red in the Ledger kind of thing. Also in from the side, 3 Stone Rain. This is the most experimental card on my list right now. I'm trying to figure out if I like it, so I'm just jamming it in here and seeing what happens. But the intent is that it can make my opponent slow down. It can force them to slow down just a little bit, and then I can use that tempo to, catch up to them or just run past them and, close the game out. But yeah, let's hop into it. All right, here we are in game, and my opponent, Jordan, wins the die roll and chooses to go first. So, like I already said, this is against a teammate Jordan. So he's a really good Runeblade player. He's a really good aggressive player. So I'm expecting this to be a really good rep. He's been putting some good amount of effort into building up this Aurora deck. Yeah, like I said, got to watch out for Warmongers. He has on the opening turn. He thinks that it's a fair bid to play it. They don't want to disrupt him. I know that he boards out non-attack actions against Azalea specifically. We've played this before, so I know that he boards down to I think only Warmongers. So it really won't affect what he's trying to do. But on my side, there's nothing I can really do here. I could shoot in the amp arrow for 2, or I could pop the long draw and shoot it in for 6 or 7. Maybe that was worth it, but I value holding on to the long draw, and I don't really care to just shoot for 2. And I also like the idea of going 4 pumps on the amp arrow and then coming in for 18 next turn as this crackback. But on his side, he's just coming in with his 0 for 4s. Yeah, I think this is all fine. So shouldn't block this. Okay, I'm blocking with the long draw. Um, if I remember correctly, I think this was a mistake. So I'm worried that he's going to warmongers me again, which is impossible because he's under war. So I thought, okay, I've got to get in my value where I can. And then this happens. He comes in with CNC, and then I'm left in a really tough choice where I can either lose my amp arrow, which is not great because I don't have a yellow pitch for my red in the ledger. So I want to block my red in the ledger plus one card because my pumps are worth extra value on the amp arrow. So I'm in this really weird position where since I misblocked, I need to give up a piece of equipment in order to have an actual turn here because I'm already 10 points down. And if this hits, then I think I just lose all tempo. I could, I mean, I have two options. I can either let it hit, take 6, go down to 24, and then shoot a Ren the Ledger, probably with the Seek and Destroy on it, pitching the Scout and maybe the Lace, depending on what I draw. Or I can block with the Ren the Ledger plus the probably probably Lace with Inertia, and then also block with either my Skullbone or my Tunic. So those are the thoughts going through my head because I made a mistake. So here, yeah, I'm blocking with that, blocking with the Tunic. I feel like I should have just blocked with Skullbone. But that also gives it my arcane barrier. I don't know. It's such a weird choice because I blocked poorly. And this was a really good learning moment for me. And hopefully someone else can take away from this that be really, really aware of what you're blocking and when. Don't just block. Like have a reason to block with your equipment. And I just kind of fudged it up here. So playing on though, I do need to dig myself out of this hole. I feel really far behind now. I'm not going to get my tunic, which is like -1 card on that turn. So we're just coming in with what I was hoping would be amp arrow, but instead we find an endless arrow. So that's even better. So it's going to come in for 10 dominate, and on hit he'll be under seek and destroy. So that means that he won't be able to set up for the turn, and I will have an arsenal going into the next turn. So it's not all bad. And I found the endless arrow because of the skullbone. So that was my thought is I'm gonna dig myself out of this game by abusing my ability to find meaningful on hits. That's why I gave up the tunic over the skullbone, even though it's so early in the game. But let's see what I can do here. Because I'm coming in for 10 and it's dominate. Yep, he elects not to block it. If he had a sink below, he could put sink plus 3 pieces of equipment and that would fully cover it. But I think he's fine to just not do that and uh Surge. Is he going to snaps or is he going to react on it? Snaps. Okay. That's fine. It means he's not using his snaps for something else that is a little bit more scary to block out. But he does come in with current funnel, so you could have another thing that's a little bit scary for me to try and block out. Okay, static shock. It has lightning flow, so it's going to ping me if it hits. I think I just need to play greedy with this hand. It is potentially really good and could honestly just like claw me back in this game. I'm about to take a bunch of damage though, because yeah, he's somersaulted that, right? So he had a really good turn. Like his turn was what was it? 4 4 5 5. So he's coming for 18 on this turn. And I don't think I'm blocking here. I could consider blocking with the yellow bolt and shot, but I also like trying to find a way to get 6 value off my rain razors and hit him twice with the bolt and shot. And I think I have the option to do that. But I know that my opponent is good. That's sort of the deciding like a deciding factor or like a influencing factor is I know that he's really good. So I need to respect his ability to block the meaningful chain link that could make my whole turn crumble. So off the go here, I think I'm just going to start with the opt to see if there's a better arrow than endless arrow. I think that's safe. I could consider holding it for one of the reloads on my bolt shot, but I think I should just start off with the skullbone. But I am thinking here, and I like that I'm actually giving a second's thought because this could change my turn. All right, so Rend the Ledger. I could leave that on top and then flip into it, or I could just leave it on top and then draw into it. And I think I decided to go with drawing into it, and I like that because this opens up the opportunity for him to want to block on this. So maybe he'll put like a piece of equipment plus a piece of armor. And then maybe on the next one, I'll come in with Bolt and Shot, and then I'll get the go again off of it. And then he'll make a weird blocking decision. And then I can like knock to reload. And then maybe the Ren the Ledger sneaks through or something like that. And it just kind of crumbles his turn. But here you see he's blocking 6, somersaulting it. So somersault's a really good card. Right here, it was a 0 for 6. So it's insane. Um, Notably, it covers up the Rain Razors, so I don't get back the Endless Arrow. I do use my snaps like I was planning to. It's all good. It's kind of nice to get the somersault out of the way. It's gonna come at some point. Like the deck is so efficient. The Aurora deck is so efficient. But that was a good block by him. He covered up 6 instead of giving me a card plus armor. Then the Rain Razors would have gotten back my Endless. But I think I'm happy here to just Bolt and Shot, then Rain Razors. If he wants to cover this up, then I think I'm fine to. Yeah, if he covers this up, I think I'm fine to base the rest of my turn off that. So what I mean by that is if he blocks 4 here, and then I Rain Razors, reload the Red in the Ledger, shoot that, then I'm good to just Arsenal my knock. If he blocks 6 on this, then I'm good to still Rain Razors, and then knock, maybe get a better air on top. But he doesn't put any cards in front of it. Fine. I'm good to just reload the Red in the Ledger and then shoot that off. Yeah, this is good. Like, even if he had blocked that, I had a way around it. No matter how he blocked it. If he blocked 6, I could have knocked to get a better arrow into Arsenal. Probably like a, I don't know, Endless Arrow, and then that would have sapped some of his equipment. But coming in with Red in the Ledger here, like this is a, I think this was really well played by both of us. He didn't fall for the Bolt and Shot bait. He correctly covered up, or he correctly covered up the Endless Arrow. So this was a good cycle for both of us, I think. I needed this to happen this way just to give me like a little bit of breathing room. And I get to go into the next turn with an arsenal, so that's what I needed. Hopefully that makes sense. There's a lot of there. I remember this turn being really like sort of intricate on both sides. Yeah, he's thinking here. I remember being really intricate on both sides, trying to sort of play the game of what am I going to present. So this is like the fun this is like the fun high level Azalea stuff that I like to play, where both sides know what the other side's trying to do, and he's sort of responding to my questions, and then I need to have a good follow up question to his response. Like it's just kind of a little bit of a dance, and it's really enjoyable when you get games like this. But here he's coming in with Snatch, and this is another tough one because I really don't want to give him a card. I think that yeah, I need to think here because I feel like there might have been a better way to play out this turn, and I don't know what it would have looked like. Even looking at it now, I struggle to try and find what I should have done here. I could have. So I have the knock in Arsenal, so I could block with if I block with Skullbone, and then I block with if I block with Skullbone, and then I block with Stone Rain, then I knock to put in the say the Codex of Frailty, and then I get a Judge Jury, flip into it, and then I come in for 5 Dominate, and I have the Rain Razors. That could be a play. I don't know if that's good enough though. That was my consideration here is can I use the knock to try and seal up the game a little bit? But I don't think I like that play still. I don't think I want to give up my Skullbone here. I think it's going to be a card that's going to help me sort of claw my way back into this game. Like I gave up my Tunic instead of my Skullbone, so I'm kind of like doubling down on the fact that I still have access to one of my powerful equipments because I've already used my snaps. I don't have my Tunic. My long draw is still there, so it's still a thing. But I don't know. Maybe there's a better turn here, but I'm really struggling to find it. I'll probably like continue to think about this turn. Even after this, like I'm not sure what I should have done better. But that was a really weird turn cycle for me to navigate, honestly. So need to figure it out. Okay, I just find the judge jury. Sweet. I just kind of bailed myself out here by getting super lucky, but that's what I'm trying to do with this deck. I'm trying to make the aim counters matter. So finding it, sweet. If I found a immobilizing shot, that also would have been sweet. But here I'm good to just leave it on top, flip into it, and then pitch the codex to shoot it off for 5. If he tries to get greedy with his block, then I'm just going to punish him with rain razors, and he's going to, discard down. But I have a feeling that he might try to block 7 here out of respect, but we'll see. Like I said, Jordan's a really good player, and he knows how to, and he knows my deck. We've played this. He's played against my deck a lot, especially on Runeblades. He's played it with like Vincent and Viscerai against me, so he understands what the deck does. But yeah, he's blocking 7 here. I think that's correct. I think he gets really punished if that connects. So I'm good to just arsenal the Rain Razors though. Like he's on 3 cards, which can power down what he's trying to do over there. So yeah. And he's coming with Entwined Lightning, showing me a Sigil of Lightning. So I'm expecting the follow-up, or the follow-up is just going to be either Grasp into Starfall, so that's 3 damage, or it's going to be Starfall into Aurora. On my side, though, since everything is face up, I get to make the decision here on what I want to do. And I think I'm good to block here. I think I'm happy to. I think I'm happy to block with the Endless Arrow, looking at this, because I would like to Codex here. I know that it gets him a card back from his grave, and that could be a little bit of a mistake. So there's a chance that I'm supposed to just take 7 and then take 2 or 3 after that. And then I go down to 4. But that's like super scary. I kind of want to block here just out of that fear. And also giving him 1 or 2 frailties is like it's pretty good. So yeah, blocking with the endless, that seems fine to me. And he's electing to come with Starfall and then Aurora on top of this. So I'm not going to block this. My cards are better on offense than defense here. So take the 2 down to 8. And we are in an absolute hole right here. I need to scrounge to get back into this game. It's feeling pretty hopeless though, but these are the kind of games that I need to get good at. So we actually had to cut out like I think it was like a couple minutes where we had to undo the turn because Talishar things. But I knew that there was a yellow bolt and shot on top for my Skullbone, so I just flip into it right away, and then I go pump. Sorry, I go pre-med, shoot the bolt and shot. This is trying to bait out some armor because, yeah, I won't make him think that I'm relying on the card or on the bolt and shot hitting. I'm not. I get to just go lace, then codex, sweet. And yeah, he puts a snatch into arsenal, discarding a CNC. And I remember talking to him after game about this because we had like a couple minutes thinking about here. But yeah, I have to undo that. Yeah. He had a full red hand, and he used the Crown of Providence to try and find a blue to rescue his hand. So that's why he blocked the way that he did, and then the snatch was just the best target in his grave because he doesn't have any pitch cards in hand. Anyways, here I like arsenaling one of the pumps, and I think I like arsenaling the. Actually, no, I like arsenaling the Endless Arrow because I might not have pitch for next turn. So yeah, arsenal the Endless Arrow, and at the very worst, I'm coming in for a 4 power. And yeah, you can see here, yeah, I didn't draw any pitch cards. So I would have been in a pretty bad spot if I'd arsenaled one of the pumps. So yeah, good heads up play from me. On his side, he's hitting me with the shock and then snatch. This is only going to come in for 2. So I'm happy to block this with probably one of the 3 blocks. I think blocking with the Bolton shot here is fine because there's a chance that I just go triple pump into Endless Arrow, and if he just arsenals that last card, because yeah, if that's a good card, like if it's a good aggressive card, then I could expect him to arsenal it. It's probably not a blue based on like I can get the read. It's probably not a blue based on how he played his last turn. So I don't like he can't Aurora. He could also just grasp, but his Starfall's coming in for 0. So yeah, that's the sort of this state of things right here. I think just blocking with the Bolt and Shot is correct though. There's a chance that he follows up with a 0 for 4. So maybe I should have blocked with like the Read the Glide Path or something. Or probably the Inertia. I think that could have been okay. Maybe it saves me a little bit of damage. So that could have been correct, but I think I like the aggressive option instead. I like to just I think I just want to keep shooting off this endless arrow as many times as possible and make him yeah. Yeah, I think I should have done it the other way. The fact that he had the burn up shock going, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. I would have given up 3 cards, but I think I'm fine with this. The way that I did, I played this out. I chose to keep the frailty just because that's a little bit more defensive. So yeah, yeah. There was no way that it was a 0 for 5. That's like the bottom line from that last turn is I was giving up 3 cards no matter what. If that last card was a 0 for 4, so whether I blocked the 3 or the 2, it didn't matter, I guess. Here, he's very likely got either a Channel Valley or a Lightning Press, so I should play accordingly. I should respect at the very least the Lightning Press because that's a flittering flittering charge. So yeah, I need to assume he has Lightning Press here, but I don't want to overblock it, right? Because if it's like a electrostatic discharge, then I'm in a really bad spot. Yep, so it's Lightning Press. So he's coming in for 7. It gets go again. I take 4 down to 3. So good blocking choice by me. I'm still happy to block it with my Amp Arrow and maybe even one more card like the Premed because I would like to go read, maybe find a better 0 cost, which there's not really. It'd be like another Endless, which I think there's only 1 left in the deck. Anyways, here is coming with Starfall. I think I take the 1. And I think I take the 1 here as well. Right? Either that or I block. Yeah, I take the 1 here. I need to respect like another Snatch. So, I mean, I think I'm just kind of dead here. Maybe I should have blocked with a non-attack action. Maybe that was correct, actually. Just putting like a... Yeah. No, I shouldn't block with my Skullbone. I should put a non-attack action here because I'm just dead to the Rune Chant now. So that's just a straight-up misplay. But I am going to present 10 at him. Nope. Put it to bottom. But I'm just dead here no matter what. He just needs to activate Grasp and then hit me with the weapon. Yeah, I should have blocked differently, so the game goes on a little bit longer, but I'm pretty sure I was dead, so dang. Good game, though. Let's see if he gets to the line. I'm sure he will. I don't think he's going to miss lethal here. He just needs to block with, like, 1 card. Yeah, blocks with 2, his equipment. He's down to 2, and he just needs to Arcanite, and then Sword, and I'm dead. Because I have no Arcane Barrier. It doesn't matter what Arsenal here. I'm just dead. Okay, Channel Valley. Arcanite, he had the blue. Yep. And then get me with the Arcane. GG's. Here we are in the post game, and that was a good game. I made some mistakes, and I had some really tough decisions because of it. It was not an easy game for me to navigate, but I think that my opponent was that Jordan played the deck very well. Um, it was a really good rep. I think that he's still learning the deck, but he has very strong instincts towards how to play aggressive decks and seal off make the blocking really tough. So that was a really good rep, I think, for both of us. I honestly, looking back, I didn't notice anything that Jordan, my opponent, did wrong. It looked like everything was correct. Maybe there was some ways to sequence in more awkward ways, but honestly, it felt like it was pretty well sequenced from his side. From my side, though, uh, the big one is I should not have blocked that long draw. The fact that I blocked the second strike with long draw when he was underneath war. Me and Jordan talked about this afterwards, and I said like, yeah, I thought I just totally whiffed that he was also under war, so I was respecting another warmonger's just like pulling me out of the game. So that was why I did that. I think I should, if I held on to it and then didn't have to block with my tunic, then we made it to an 8 turn game. So I was very likely to get 2 activations of my tunic. So the game would have looked completely different. And that's hopeful. If I had played correctly and then actually managed to um, have the same sort of like if we had the same draw sequence and I'd blocked correctly, then I think I would have been in a much better spot. And I think I would have won that game based on how we drew. Um, because neither of us drew particularly poor. I think we both drew about what we needed. So yeah, that's hopeful for me. That's a good indicator. But also like not to mitigate Jordan played very well. Like I again like looking through what he how he played like he came like he presented very awkward blocking choices and good sequencing. I do need to say that Endless Arrow was an all-star this game. I think I would have been out of it much sooner if I hadn't had that Endless Arrow that I kept shooting and just arsenaling. Like it made it so that I could actually just go like, you know, 2 card 7, turn over, turn over, turn. But it was like more, it was better than 2 card 7, right? Because it just came back to hand. So it was like a 1 card 7. So really good. I think that just highlights how good the Endless Arrow is in these aggressive matchups. Also, I was happy with how Judge Jury performed. It was nice to just kind of get high roll and rip it off the top and then make my opponent blow a bunch of armor on it. So that was pretty cool to see. I didn't see immobilizing shot in this game, but in my other testing, it has performed very well. I think that it's like it is the reason that I put this configuration together is to try and abuse either immobilizing shot or stone rain alongside Judge Jury. Stone Rain, I still haven't seen it shine yet, so that makes me think like I probably just cut it. Like in this game, if it was one of the other arrows on my sideboard, like if it was a Remorseless or even an Infecting Shot, I think it would have been a better card. Like the one turn that I drew it, I blocked with it, and if it was an Infecting Shot, then that turn could have been better, maybe. I don't know. Still testing it though, but that was a really good game. I think again, biggest takeaway, just block properly. In these aggro matchups, blocking properly is key. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. If you had any questions about my choices in game, or you noticed something I could have done better, don't be shy to leave a comment. Also, check out the description for the deck list as well as a link to FaBrary. Thanks again, and until next video.